that's the basics of using make ISO fs, cd out to Nero, and bin2boot.bat, or sorry, .exe. You can use these files, and modify this batch file so you can go ahead and create your own Dreamcast bootable disks. There is an easier way in which I'll explain right now. There's a program called Boot Dreams. This is easy breezy. If you screw this up, you're some sort of major league retard. Once you download the application and you run it, you can select on what type of ISO you want to make. Do you want to make a disk juggler? Do you want to make Nero disk it once, Nero track it once, burn directly to disk, or take an image and use their internal burner, like this program, to burn an image? So if you don't have Nero or you don't have Alcohol 120, you can use this application to burn ISOs. Now, remember, you need to have, here's Nestor DC 7.1. Here are the files. You have to have ip.bin and firstread.bin on the root of the directory, and on the CD. And of course, reading the README of the program you're using, put whatever files you want on the disk in the appropriate directories. I have my ROMs in games, I have my game Genie codes in Genie, I have my emulator skin in Pix, and I have the Nestor cheat code system in there. Whatever, if this was an MP3 player like DC Playa. DC Player is a multi-format media player, really not up to par with Xbox Media Center, but for an MP3 player, it's great. I put some music in my music folder. Here's my firstread.bin, my ip.bin. This is how the entire CD is going to be set up. Everything will be written to CD exactly as that. So, we have Boot Dreams, and we're going to browse, and we're going to say, okay, we're going to go to my dev folder, Dreamcast, Nestor DC 7.1, files. Okay. And the CD label, we want this to be Nestor DC. Disk format, there's no audio. As in CD audio, MP3 audio is not applicable. This is only data. And we want to spit this out. Okay, we'll do a Nero disk it once. Okay, and then we hit the process button. Are you sure you want to create a data Nero disk it once image? Yes, I'm sure. Now, this is the only thing I don't like about this application. When your Dreamcast boots up, it's this big Sega logo comes up and says this product has been endorsed or sponsored by Sega. This will actually replace that with something else. Do a little bit of research and you can figure out how to create your own copyright logos, which is kind of cool because not everything really is endorsed or sponsored by Sega. But either way, I'll just use DC emulation. And here's the Nestor DC disketOnce.nrg. We're going to save this. And it's done. Now, the reason this took so short of a time is because I had no ROMs inside of the inside of the games folder, and that is because default exclaimer about ROMs being illegal, copyright material, DMCA, blah 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 blah. I don't care. The more files you put on a disk, keeping in mind you have to have a 700 megabyte limit because you can only use 700 megabyte CDs. This is the gist of how to put everything together. Now, I've already put together some disk images. I'm going to go ahead and burn them, and we'll go to the Dreamcast side and check things out.
Alright, decided to take a couple of creative liberties with with my Nestor DC. I decided to use the skins from Nestor DC 6 on Nestor DC 7. Doesn't matter. Let's go to the computer side, do a couple of screen captures, and I'll show you the Dreamcast. There you go. Nestor DC. NES emulator. The same goes for pretty much anything. The process is pretty simple. It's pretty easy, and hopefully this has sparked your interest in Dreamcast homebrew. So, what are you waiting for? Go do some homebrew. Put this thing to some use already.
G'day, I'm Raktor, and I'm back with segment 2 of the introduction to PHP. This time I'm just going to throw you straight into the code and try and help you along the way. We have 2 test files that we're going to be making today. The first one is going to be your first ever PHP file. Here's the code for it. It's pretty simple, just 3 lines. On line 1, you see we open up the PHP code. You need to do this every time you're going to have a block of PHP, so the interpreter runs through everything between the tags on lines 1 and 3. Our main code is on line 2. All it is an echo statement, which is the way you print text in PHP. All it does is echo BSoD rules into the web browser. We'll take a look at it here. I've saved it in the htdocs directory under a separate directory called segment1. So if we open up Firefox, go to localhost /segment1 and then open up the file firsttest.php, we'll see the output, which is BSoD rules. Now, taking a closer look at this echo statement, we begin with the word echo, which is the function, and then a bracket to open it up. Then we have the quotation marks, which defines a string that we're supplying. We close them off, we close off the brackets, and end the line with a semicolon. The semicolon indicates that we've finished that function. Now, in the second file, we're going to be looking at some variables. This is only a 6-line file. Line 1, we open up the PHP code again. On lines 2 to 4, we're setting some variables. A variable always has to begin with the $, and then you have some text. So we have variable 1, variable 2, and variable 3. Variable 1 we've set equal to 5. Now we don't need to use quotation marks because this is actually set to the numeral 5, not the literal value of 5. So variable 1's equal to 5, variable 2's equal to 9. Now variable 3 we've set equal to variable 1 plus variable 2. PHP supports all of the mathematical operators, so you can do plus, minus, subtraction, well that's minus, multiplication, division, all of that funky stuff. And notice at the end of each of those lines we've put a semicolon. Then all we do is an echo statement, and we're echoing out the value of variable 3. So if we go to Firefox, go back up the directory and take a look at that file, we'll see it echoes out 14, which is the sum of 5 and 9. Now, the tool I'm using is Notepad++, but all you have to do is use any standard text editor. Normally my tool of preference is Vim, but you can use whatever takes your fancy, even just Notepad. But yeah, Google some tutorials, take a look around, and have some fun with it.
Okay, well, on BSoD, we believe knowledge is power, and the internet's just a huge database of knowledge. So we like to be able to connect to the internet no matter where we're at. As you see now, we're in the middle of wilderness. That's where I'm at most of the time. And you're not going to find Wi-Fi out here, and if you do, then you're doing something wrong. So today we're going to show you tethering. I know we showed you last season, we showed tethering your cell phone to your laptop, but this year we're going to show how it's done right. Now you can tether your cell phone to your laptop, to your pocket PC, pretty much to any device that can connect to a modem via Bluetooth or I believe serial. But today I'm going to show you how to connect with a Dell Axum X51V and a Motorola V195, I believe this is. It's some piece of shit, but it's got Bluetooth, and of course I use T-Mobile. Check the show notes how to do other phones and other providers. I'm not going to explain all that today. I still got to do more tests and everything, but I'll show in the show notes. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to your Pocket PC, go to Settings,